With the basic premise of a cold and affection-starved noble lady being displaced by the friendly and approachable quote-unquote heroine, I Am the Real One is a straightforward story that works with the foundation of a plot that's definitely been done before. But is it fair to judge a story with similar elements to so many others? I mean, maybe, but that's not my point right now and could be said about honestly anything. Hunger Games and Fortnite are both battle royales and you don't see me calling them the same thing. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. I Am the Real One follows the story of Cara Parvis, the daughter of the cold and distant duke that is known for his political neutrality in the kingdom, as his father was and his father before that was. Cara has grown up with the prophecy over her head that she's the chosen one to save the world from a catastrophe, as the family's sole elementalist of the generation. An elementalist being someone who can control or manipulate spirits. Being the undisputed eldest daughter, she never expected to have to assert her position as legitimate daughter and chosen one of the prophecy. Because why would you have to when there's no way it's not you? So it's a real surprise when a daughter from a previous marriage shows up out of nowhere and vies for this role and position. Being brought in by the ex-stepbrother of the Duke, Cosette Weinberg, a spitting image of the Duke and newly discovered eldest daughter, threatens everything that Cara had built herself up to be, from noble lady of the Parvis dukedom, all the way to the prophesized heroine and even daughter of the Duke. Cara, being awkward and affection-starved, eventually lost support as Cosette befriended everyone that Cara could not, due to her awkward nature. Eventually, when Cosette somehow manifested elementalist powers earlier than Cara, Cara was then executed for being a threat to the kingdom, which then leads to a regression to a few months before Cosette's introduction to the dukedom. Having now given up on vying for her father's attention and instead focused on enjoying her second chance at life, Cara does her best to get along with those around her while she tries to prevent Cosette from taking everything Cara has, including her life, all while trying to find out the reason for her regression. I Am the Real One is impressive to me in a way that it really sets the standard. The characters are decently nuanced, the drama is intriguing, and the portrayal of scenes and interactions between the elements of the story is great at dragging you right into this world of nobles. The world is crafted in a way that we are focused on only Cara's immediate surroundings, but does this because it directly represents Cara's involvement with the outside world, her position as the daughter of Parvis making her isolated and distant from others outside of her estate. And watching as this changes with Cara as she grows and learns to be more than just the perfect lady of House Parvis is a truly satisfying experience and great way to expand the world narratively with Cara. In addition to the fun and wholesome parts of the story grounded in Cara's growth as a person, we also have a lot of deeper tones that come from the central conflict with Cosette, whose very existence threatens Cara's hopes of simply living. As time passes and we learn more about Cosette and her motivations for pretending to be the chosen one of the prophecy, the story just takes things to a level of drama that keep the stakes high and strengthens the air of mystery as to what is really going on, which I find to be done quite well considering it doesn't really rely on the traditionally written trope of the regressor knowing everything from their past life. Cara actually acts with intelligence and is able to come up with unique plans on the fly when things don't go her way, and isn't able to completely predict what Cosette tries to do. It's one of the things that make the story refreshing and interesting to read compared to a lot of the others in the genre, despite having very similar concepts, where the main character has a solution to everything and it works as is, or knows every single plan that their enemy is going to pull out with no adjustments. And I love it because it really helps you feel the gotcha moment that a lot of these stories don't really try to nail. Numerous times in similar stories, I always feel like it's a shallow plot and exchange between the two parties that leads usually to the MC's first plan working out perfectly, which at this point is quite frankly predictable, and that's why I'm such a fan when things are actually kind of unexpected for the characters and the audience. And that's what I really enjoy about this. Cara doesn't know a lot. She knows how to be the cold and distant neutral noble lady of the Parvis household, and that's it. And a big part of the story is uncovering everything she doesn't know. The world and the driving forces of conflict are as much of a mystery to us as it is to Cara, which leads us to immerse ourselves into her circumstances. In fact, one of the greatest parts about this is that while it drives the main plot, it sets up the experience of seeing Cara break out of the ignorance and sort of sheltered childhood that she went through during her first life. Seeing her pick up hobbies, express herself, be awkward trying to be sociable, and all the other things she never got to experience like a normal noble lady just feels so heartwarming. It's like seeing someone who didn't know that life could be so fun and colorful, finally finding meaning in being something outside of what they were designated to be. And coming from someone who loves a splash of romance in everything he consumes, this story does a great job at making sure the romance doesn't overtake the main plot and drama, but still makes it present enough where it adds to the story and Cara's development in an enjoyable way. Which doesn't stop there, because the story does a really good job at balancing the drama with the funner parts of Cara's second chance at life, where it's not a constant war of wits, schemes, life, and death between her and Cassette. We really get to enjoy her new approach to life with her, and it makes it so that we know what she's fighting for and how she's grown from the start of the series. Which, by the way, does something that I really like, which is that it doesn't skip anything important to understanding the world. We see a lot of the key events that leads to Cara's execution and why she was the way she is at the start of the story. I do think that it's a really heavy way to get into the story, but it's heavy in the fact that it's a relatively dense intro to the world and the characters compared to a lot of other ones, which jumps straight into the start of the main character's reincarnation, regression, or the like. And I think that's one of the many things that's got me so hooked onto the series. I was thrust into this setting and its circumstances so thoroughly that if it was water, I'd be halfway to the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't carelessly dump info or say it retroactively. It shows you before the start of the regression what Cara knows so that you go into this story already having an idea of what's going on. And any other questions are the same ones that Cara has. I Am the Real One is truly fitting of its title, because just as Cara is the real daughter, this story is the real thing. Okay, that was terrible. Stupid jokes aside, I'm the Real One does a wonderful job at telling the story and bringing you into this world that shares a lot of similar elements with others. And I think one of the best things about it is the way that it doesn't let the tropes define it. It takes tropes that we know and uses them proficiently in ways that make sure it's not detracting from the setting, the plot, or the narrative that is being shown. It truly uses them as building blocks for the foundation of the story instead of all of the substance and structure. So if you're looking for a story like this or trying to recommend someone a very well-rounded historical drama webtoon with a little bit of fantasy and romance, then go ahead and support the official release in the description. Thanks for watching.